Hi, I'm Mikayla Tribble, a student docent at the Special Collections Libraries, and this virtual tour stop is about Panko and the British suffrage movement.
Let's all take a look at this image. Is there anything about it that sticks out to you? Is it the woman's hair? Her clothes, maybe? Well, I bet none of you guessed that this was actually one of the many images used for a deck of women's suffrage playing cards. Let's take a closer look. Published in 1909 by Peter Gurney, this suffrage card game, better known as Panko, or Votes for Women, was named after Emmeline Pankhurst, a leader of the British women's suffrage movement. Gaining steam in the mid-1800s, British suffragists like Emmeline Pankhurst wrote and sent many petitions to Parliament, some even amassing up to 3 million signatures. Suffrage organizations were forming all over Britain, eventually coming together to form the National Union of Women's Suffrage Societies in the 1880s and 90s. However, even though peaceful action was taken, there was still no major progress. Following decades of British Parliament rejecting suffrage bills, Emmeline Pankhurst decided that the movement should take a more direct approach. In 1903, she, along with her daughters, established a new organization called the Women's Social and Political Union. The members of the WSPU constantly worked and campaigned for their right to vote. Fueled by mottos and slogans such as deeds, not words, the members turned to a more radical and sometimes violent approach to gain equal political footing. These more militant tactics included public demonstrations, picketing, and hunger strikes, focused on causing disruption and civil disobedience. Eventually, the women associated with the WSPU were dubbed suffragettes, mirroring the military term cadet. These actions heavily influenced and inspired the suffrage movement in the United States, causing them to take a more assertive approach in their own fight. So how do playing cards fit into all of this? Well, playing cards were a popular source of fundraising and outreach for the suffrage movement. Games like Panko successfully placed the women's suffrage movement in domestic settings. This act of bringing suffrage ideals into the home, spreading their message and cause, could actually label a simple card game as a piece of political propaganda. The game consisted of 48 distinct playing cards designed by Punch Magazine's E.T. Reed. These cards were split into 8 suits, 4 in support of suffrage and 4 against it. Each card depicted many scenes from the suffrage movement and from the daily lives of suffragettes. For example, these cards show Pankhurst, a suffragette demonstration, a judicial hearing, and a suffragette being arrested. Playing the game itself is pretty simple. A group of 4 to 8 players should split into 2 groups, suffragists and anti-suffragists. Next, all the cards are dealt. The object of the game is to collect a complete suit of 6 cards for your group by calling and exchanging with each other. Once you collect a full suit, call out the words printed at the top of the card. For example, an anti-suffragist could yell goal, 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 or a suffragist could yell pank, pank, pank if they collect all of the cards that belong to that suit. Each suit is worth a certain amount of points ranging from 10 to 40. The winners are the first group to gain 100 points, but be careful, yelling the wrong thing or collecting the wrong cards could result in a penalty. As someone who knows how competitive card games can get, it's so interesting to see that this was used to pit suffrage and anti-suffrage ideals against each other. Panko and other games like it got people to have conversations about important topics while still providing a bit of harmless fun. Now it's time to put your own creative skills to the test. Take some time to make your own Panko card set, and let's see how quickly you'll be able to score the women's vote.